The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning and welcome to the Metro MLS Coffee Break webinar reviewing your subscription options for your subscriptions, or what we sometimes call automatic email. My name is Angela and I will be the one performing the training today. Just want to start off with an apology. If you hear any wheezing or coughing or clearing my throat, just getting over a sickness here. We've got a patient 0 here in the office who is no longer sick, but a lot of others of us are sick now because of that person. So, well, let's get started. So the recording of this webinar will be made available by the end of day tomorrow. So if you would like to look for that or point someone else into that direction, you can come here to member support after you come to metromls.com. Come to member support and go into our FlexMLS video library, and it will be added underneath this section that you see here for coffee break webinars. And you'll find some other ones from the past that we've had there too. So let's get started. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to show you some subscription options, which will include a preview mode option, explaining the subscription schedules available, and opening of subscription email links. Okay, so I'm going to go to Contact Management. And I'm going to pick a contact that's on a subscription. So I'm going to pick this one right here. So to edit an existing subscription that you have set up for someone, once you open up that contacts file, you're going to click on their search a subscription link. Now, if you've got more than one search in the searches box, each search will have subscription options that are unique to that search. So here I've only got one search, my 53207 search. So to get into the subscription options, I'm going to click this link here that's preceded by the word subscription. Excuse me. All right, so this will let me into the edit subscription screen. So the first option that I'm going to review is up here. That's called enable preview mode. And there's a little question box right there, a little mark there. So this is not selected by default. In order to enable this option, you actually have to check this box. So what this does is it allows you to approve listings before they are emailed to your clients. Maybe you've got a really highly selective customer. You've set up a search for them with the parameters that they want, but you'd like to comb over or cherry pick those listings and see which ones are an actual fit for your customer that you believe that they like, and then you can approve those selected listings to get sent on to that customer. So by you enabling this box, just by putting a check here, it'll tell you when preview mode is enabled, contacts will not receive any emails until you approve the listings you'd like them to see. When there are new or changed listings, you will receive an email to review and approve the listings you would like to have emailed to your contact. So you are the gatekeeper for those subscription emails. Everything comes to you in the private format. You open up those emails and you review them and you select the ones that you would like for your customer to get. So maybe there's 7 listings in an email, but maybe 3 your customer would truly like because they really meet what they're looking for. You would select those 3. Then at the upper right-hand corner of the screen, there will be a button marked Approve. Once you click that Approve button, only the listings that you have selected will get sent on to that customer. Okay? So that's our first option for review, is enable preview mode. And if you ever forget what that is, just hit that little question mark. So next we'll review the schedules that are available for your subscription. So the schedule is what is based upon what you choose. So each schedule has its own features. So the one that's selected by default is weekly with the all days. So if you've got this schedule set up and it only runs by what you've got the button here, the radio button on, so the weekly schedule will send out an email once a day on whatever day or days that you have selected here. That email is sent overnight between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. the next day. So for example, if you only wanted to have every other day selected like this, okay? So if there is a listing match or a listing update for your customer search, an email will get sent out on whatever day that you have selected. So let's say the listing match occurred on Sunday, like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that would get sent out between at Sunday 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. the next day. Let's say you have a listing match on a Monday, but you don't have that day selected. It will hold that listing until the next selected day for send. All right. If you want to clear your days or deselect, whatever you want to do, you make those options. But again, one email is sent on the day or days that you have selected on the overnight send, 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. The next schedule is a monthly schedule. So if I've selected monthly, I put my dot in here. Doesn't matter if these days are selected because only what's honored is what the radio button is selected over here. So a monthly schedule will send out the listing update on whatever date of the month that you have selected. Okay, so let's say if I wanted an update sent out the 28th of every month. It'll send one email, and anything that is still matching that customer search criteria will get sent out on that date. Again, the overnight send between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Some agents wonder, well, why would you send a monthly schedule? That really doesn't make any sense. Sometimes you have investors that they're always kind of sort of looking, not really, but they just kind of want to stay abreast, but not on a really regular basis. This is something that could work for them. Okay. The next schedule is ASAP. It's exactly as it reads, as soon as possible. If a listing makes a match to your customer search, it is queued up and sent out within 15 minutes of it making a match. They will receive it before it makes it to the third-party sites like Realtor.com, Homes.com, and so on and so forth. So if you've got a customer that is looking in an area that is having a really high turnover as far as sales, it's a really hot area, you might want to put them on this schedule here. It's also important to let your customers know, and no matter what schedule that you've got selected for them, if they are really truly interested in getting something that they might want, when those emails come through, as soon as they have the first chance available to open them, open the emails and take a look at them. You have no idea how many calls we get here at the MLS stating, oh, my customer wants to know why they're getting this listing and there's already been an offer made on it. It's active with offer. We will backtrack based upon the history of when it was originally sent out and find out, oh, it was sent to your customer when it was new on this date, but your customer never opened it. We can see things like that. So if your customer really wants, they're really in earnest and they really want a house, tell them as soon as they are physically able to open an email, when they receive it, open it and take a look. Just take a few minutes and do that because they could be missing out on something that they truly, really wanted to look at. So that is the fastest schedule, the ASAP. Again, that will queue up and send within 15 minutes of it making a match to your contact search. The last schedule is the continuous schedule. This is 4 scheduled sends a day. Okay, so those 4 scheduled sends is once in the morning between 8 and 10 a.m., once in the afternoon between 1 and 3, once in the evening between 5 and 7, and then the last send of the day, which is the overnight between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. So on that schedule, it's 4 scheduled sends. So if a listing hits the system at 11 o'clock, they'll get it on that 1 to 3 send there versus ASAP, they'll get it within 15 minutes of it making that change or hitting the system. So keep that in mind, how fast you want them to get it. All right. So if you make any changes in the screen, just remember to save your changes at the bottom here. Okay. So that's the subscription options that you have in the subscription screen. So now what I'm going to show you is that you can also control how the subscription listing links open on your customer side. So I'm going to navigate away and go to my own personal email address. Okay. So this is a subscription that I have set up for myself for search. Okay. So the default is to open up into the news feed. So I'm going to open this. So this is a preview of the listings that were updated. So when I click my view listings button, it's going to open up to my news feed. The news feed will show you up to a maximum of 50 listings. These are all of the listings that were sent out by subscription email, with the newest ones being on the top and the ones that were sent a little bit further back in history at the bottom, the older ones. And you can see the dates here of what triggered that send. So my oldest listing here was a price change on September 11th at 7:11 p.m. Going back up to the top, the latest listing that was sent out was a status change. So it probably went from active to active with offer. And that happened at 3:43 this morning. Okay, so this, what you see here, is what's called the news feed, kind of like your social media feed for Twitter or Facebook. As the newest post comes in on the top, the older ones kind of move on down the screen. Now you've got an option on how you want these listing links to open. All right, so this is the news feed. So I'm going to close this. Okay, so I'm going to come over to Flex, and I'm going to show you where you can access those settings to change how those listing links open for subscription. So I'm just going to click on Menu, and then underneath the Preferences section, I'm going to go to Portal Preferences. Even if you don't use the portal, you can access the subscription settings from here. So in this screen here, I just want to access my classic portal settings. That brings me to this screen here. You won't have all that yellow. I did that. Excuse me. Okay, so moving on down, underneath the portal preferences section here, this is the setting that controls the listing links. Listing links from email show. This is everybody's default to the news feed. Now, you can choose when your customer opens up those links just to open it to the email, the updated email links, the updated email listings that were in that preview that we saw. So if I select this, this will only open up to the updated listings sent for that email. So I'm going to make that choice, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to come back over to my email. So these listings that you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 listings, when I click View Listings, it should just open up to those 6 listings. All right, so here it tells me the email listings. So it's just opening up to the listings that were updated for that email. So that will go for every email sent out. It will only open up to the updated listings for that email. They won't be able to see the rest of the listings that were previously sent using the emailed listings. Okay, so I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to come back over here to my portal preferences, and then I'm going to choose the third option, the last option here, the saved search. So this will not only open up to the most recently updated listings, it will open up to all of the listings that are currently meeting that customer's search criteria. So they always have access to whatever is meeting their current search criteria, including the updated listings. All right, so I made that selection, and I'll hit save. Then I'm going to come back to my email, and I'm going to click on View Listings. So the first 6 in the list will be those updated listings, but it is also all of the listings that match the search criteria for my 53207 search. That's what you can see here. So those are the first 6 listings that were updated, but this is everything meeting that 53207 search criteria. So your customer will always have access to not only the updated listings for their search, but everything meeting their current search criteria. Okay? And that can be, like, I've got 144, so I don't believe there's a limit on that. So that way, if they want to compare the newest updated listings to other things that they've seen in their search, they've always have access to it. Okay? So again, these settings were underneath Menu, Preferences section, and then Portal Preferences. When this screen comes up for you, just click on Access Classic Portal Settings and scroll down to here, Listing Links from Email Show. All right? There's some other links that are in here that affect your subscription. The one that's right here, exclude these listing statuses from appearing in the news feed unless the status is included in the search. So if you've got this news feed, you want to use the news feed option, typically, I think your default is not anything selected here. I can't remember. It's been so long. But typically, if a listing, when it's sent out to your customer, it meets their search criteria. But as the listing ages and it moves down further in that news feed, it's possible that it could go expired, it could go pending, it can go sold. The news feed will retain the changes of a history of the listing unless you've chosen to exclude particular events out of that news feed. So if all your customer wants to see is what's available for purchase, then you can exclude those off-market listings. They don't want to see expired. They don't want to see closed. They don't want to see pending. So you can do that here underneath this portal preferences section to exclude these listing statuses from appearing in the news feed. The last setting here is for default subscription settings. We're still in the portal preferences. So here, these are the events that will trigger a send to your customers. And these are global settings. They work for everybody when you set them here. So if something comes in new, brand new in the system with a new MLS number, if it matches your search criteria, of course you want to get it. If price changes and they match your search criteria, of course you want to get it. Did you want solds to be triggered? Maybe not. But if you don't have that here, but maybe you have a sold search set up for yourself or someone else, that sold will still be honored as long as it is a part of your search criteria. Open houses, did you want to add that as a trigger? Did you want to add pendings? Back on markets, those are expired or withdrawn that are put back on the market active. Extensions, expiration date is extended out. Status changes will include delayed that flip to active, so that's kind of important to have that, and also active with offer to active and vice versa. So this is located underneath portal preferences. Kind of deceiving, but this is where it's located. Again, this webinar will be made for, the recording will be made available on our homepage, metromls.com, by the end of the day tomorrow under member support and the FlexMLS video library. If you have a question on anything that we reviewed here or anything else in the system, please feel free to give us a call here at the help desk, 414-778-5450, or you can email us at support@metromls.com. Have a great day and sell lots.